Hey Ran, so today we're going to talk about a triathlon bike from a Chinese brand manufacturer. Now let's get started. And this bike just feels fast. Right on. Hey everyone, Zach here back with another video. So I do cycling related content. If you're into this kind of content, do consider to subscribe in my YouTube channel. Right now, we're going to talk about an Elf Triathlon TT bike. Let's go. Before that, let me sit here. Okay, so there is a lot of things that we're going to discuss today. As you can see over here, this beautiful bike over here, we're going to talk about it. But before that, a quick disclaimer, this bike does not belong to me. It actually belongs to a friend of mine, Tony. I'll leave his Instagram down below. So if you guys have any question later on, or if you want to know more about the bike, you can approach him directly, no problem, or you can just leave a comment down in the section below. I'll try to answer to all of them. We're going to talk about few things about this bike today. First and foremost, I'm going to tell you about how this bike is built up, on the specification, the parts that is used to build up this bike. After down the video, we're going to talk on how this bike perform on the flats, on the climb. We're going to do a free hub sound check, and also we're going to wing on the bike. Maybe if you all want to know the breakdown of this bike, I'll leave a checklist on how much each part costs and the total overall build price in this video later on. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Okay, so a very quick introduction to Elf bike. Basically, Elf is actually a Chinese manufactured bike, and this frame is originated from China, but their R&D team located in Taiwan. So over the years, I've known Elf bike for quite some time now, and I've seen a lot of their interesting road bike frames that came out in the market. To be honest, I think they are much more onto budget conscious premium road bike frames. I believe there are some YouTubers reviewed their frame before, but not this frame. So let's talk about the specification of this bike. So this frame is actually known as the Elves Amanyar. It's size 45. So this frame is made out of carbon T1000 and also carbon T800. You all can see from the design, I think you all know where does the design inspiration come from. It definitely attracts a lot of eyes, to be honest, when I ride this bike. What I really like about this frame is actually the design of this frame. Everywhere you see or everywhere you look, does scream aero. Starting from the front itself, from the fork, and the design over here, the headset over here down to the top tube. The floating top tube here definitely is the most eye-catching part, and the large chunk of bottom tube. So over here you can see the profile here is quite narrow or thin, but inside does come with an integrated bladder, or at least the option to have an integrated bladder if you are onto long distance triathlon. And we have a very dense or a very big portion of the carbon concentrated at the bottom for the bottom bracket to ensure maximum stiffness, and also the back part of the tire. So coupled off with this frame is actually the handlebar. It's also from Elf. It's known as the Elf Orium Aero Ray. Over here, this one you can see is made out of carbon T800. And the specification that Tony have over here is 400 mm wide or 40 cm wide, and there's a few stacks over here which you can play according to your bike fit, as well as the angle that you want to adjust, whether you want to be in inward or outward. There's a lot of flexibility for this aero bar over here, and you even can extend the reach of this, what you call it, the grip area. And the most noticeable area over here, I believe you all can see right now, is the shifter. So this shifter is something interesting we will talk about later on. But if you all want to know, this shifter is paired together with the rear derailleur. It's not a group set coming from Wheeltop EDS OX 2.0. It's a MTB or mountain bike wireless shifter. The brake lever that Tony used to build up this bike is known as the TRP TTV carbon brake lever. It's actually a cable actuated lever. It's not a hydraulic lever. So how does it match back to a disc brake? Tony used a brake caliper from Tech F1. This brake caliper has been reviewed by many. You can look up maybe Trace Velo or Kate Media or China Cycling. I think they have reviewed it before. Moving on, we have the saddle. So saddle over here, Lestoni use is the Bond Treasure Hylocom. Couple it with a saddle bottle cage at the back. Over there is a Topic Tri cage, and the bottle that he used at the bottom tube is the Elite Aero bottle. So the tire that Lestoni used is actually from Speed Dave Pinnacle CR60D. It's a carbon wheel paired up together with a carbon aero spoke and a ceramic hub. Okay, so this wheel set he paired together with a Shimano XT rotor. Both sides he used is 160 mm, and the tire that he used over here is the Michelin Power Cup 28C, paired up with an inner tube from right now. Alright, so let's move down to the group set. So the group set over here is a combination of various brands, as you can see over here. We start from the back. Lestoni used the Ultegra 1130T. The bottom bracket that he used is actually from Scenic Ceramic, paired together with a power meter crank arm from XKD V1, paired together with a chainring from Passquest R928100 52T chainring. And of course, the behind there is the rear derailleur wheel top EDS XO 2.0 MTB. And also my pedal. I'm using a Shimano 105 pedal. Okay, so that's basically a very quick introduction of this bike. Now let's do some weighing. Let's go. Okay, the bike weighs around 9.86 kilogram. Bike weight over here, 9.86. Yesterday I measured it at home. It's actually 9.77. Maybe I should think on replacing this weighing scale. Anyway, this is just a brief indication on how much does this bike weigh. Next thing that we're going to test will be the free hub sound check. Let's do that first. Are you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, nice. So basically that's a quick introduction of this bike, but let's get to the things that you all care the most. How does this bike perform on the road? Let's go. Hey everyone, so Zach here, riding this bike on Lecas. Actually I've been riding this bike for quite some time now, but I think I got a rough idea on how this bike performs. Now this is not a full review per se, but just an overview on how this bike performs on the road. Well, as you can see right now, I'm on a flat bar, on a aero bar, and this bike just feels fast. You just want to go very fast, but there's a limit to it. The limit is me, not the bike, where the bike just feels want to go faster, but I really maxed out my effort. Anyway, on a flat, definitely can perform. The bottom bracket actually great, and also shifting. Oh yeah, the shifting is very nice. I mean, for Lestoni to come out with this idea using an MTB shifter as a satellite shifter for TT setup, it's a very smart idea, and he managed to keep the cost very down. The only drawback is one buy. So if I were to change this setup, I might just go for a lower chain ring, because at the climb it's definitely terrible. Hey guys, so on a TT I don't really can record during climbing because it's so dangerous and I have nowhere to hold properly. But yeah, anyway, so regarding on the flat performance, actually it's really nice lah. Like I said previously, is on the flat it's really effortless, and downhill is actually pretty nice to go up to speed. So when this bike pick up to speed like around 35 or 40, the handling is okay, but it can be a little bit twitchy at times. Maybe is the fitting problem, but twitchy as in if there is a crosswind, I've noticed I keep straight out of point and trying to correct my position. But I believe that is just a small fix because of the fitting and also my balancing on the bike. But anyway, regarding on the climb for this bike, well, to be honest, this setup does not really fit for climb. It's really heavy. So if you see just now, the weight is already 9.8 kilos coupled with a 160 mm crank arm and a 52T chain ring and also 1130T at the back. This bike does feel very heavy, and it really took a toll on me, especially on a climb. Maybe it's just me, I'm weak, I don't know, but anyway, yeah. So if you're on a climb and you're on the saddle, I think that I maybe feel that the top tube here might have like trampoline feeling a bit. It's not much, but it's maybe the saddle or maybe my padding, but I do feel something like that. Maybe there's no support, or the seat stay over here. There's no seat stay over here. That's why the top part here feel a little bit stretchy, or trampoline effect, a bouncy, but it's not much. Maybe also part of the material used for this bike is T1000 mixed with T800. It could be because of that. That's why the top tube here very soft. But the main goal for this bike is actually the bottom bracket and the bottom tube here over here. So this bike does really feel solid. When I up saddle on this bike, I'm not sure whether you all do this on TT bike, but sometimes I do. And the bottom bracket for this bike does really feel solid, and yeah, it's very responsive, especially when you do up saddle and you're climbing on this bike, so that's fine. Another thing I would comment on the bike is this group set over here. Yeah, this one, I need someone to help me. So there's one thing that I really want to praise on this bike is on the shifting. Sony used a group set from China, this wheel top. It's actually a mountain bike shifter, and it's a very good idea and very cost-saving method. So as I mentioned earlier in the setup, he used this shifter to do the shifting, not like the normal shifter that we all use for SRAM E-Tab or Shimano satellite or blip shifter that you just press it on here. This method does really well, especially if you set up this bike one by. So if you see over here, there's no top, this front derailleur, is only back rear derailleur. That's actually a mountain bike group set, so the shifting is very nice. When I'm on a drop, it just fall on the position very smoothly. I can just play with my two thumbs, press for up, making the gear lighter, or press down for making the gear harder or faster. Yeah, so this position over here is just on point, very nice. Actually, very good idea. So not sure if anybody will copy this, but Lestoni, good idea.
A few moments later.
By the way, guys, this is Jason, a handsome guy from 96 Cycling. So if you're interested, check him out. So basically that's about it regarding this bike. So if you all want to know more about this bike, do leave in the comment section down below. I'll make sure to answer to all of them. Huge thanks to Lestoni for lending me this bike, and if you all want to ask more about the bike, or maybe if you all want to DM him personally, leave his Instagram profile down in the description below. So feel free to say hello to him or to check him out. And huge thanks again to Lestoni, and remember guys, eat safe, cycle, ride on. Bye.